Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Katie. These are my Leaf Diaries. Today we're going to do another cigar review, something I haven't done before in the channel, and it's going to be something that was picked by the people in my Telegram group. The last few days we've had quite a long conversation with many of the guys in the group, and the topic has been Cubans, prices, construction in nowadays Cubans, and New Worlds. As you probably can guess, there's two camps: people that love Cubans, like me, and people that love New Worlds. I wouldn't say I don't love New Worlds. I'd say I like a lot of New Worlds. Just my preference is Cuban. But there are some spectacular New World cigars out there, and I enjoy a lot of them as well. I've got right now not that many, but I used to have a lot. I smoke them, and I don't buy them as often as I buy Cubans, but it's something that I'll address very soon. Now, I did ask the group what would they like me to review next. I've started doing this. This is the second time actually I'm asking them, and I gave them three options. Joyo de Monterrey Primaveras. This is the Year of the Ox from 2021. This is a Zodiac edition cigar. This was one option. Another option was the Davidoff Master Selection from 2014. And the last option was Opus X Angel's Share. And this is the biggest Vitola, Reserva de Chateau. And it's 48 ring gauge by 178 millimeters. This is quite a strong cigar, so it was an overwhelming pick, this particular cigar. It's been in my humidor since 2019, circa 2019, and I've been keeping it for tonight actually. This is a full-bodied, quite strong cigar. It's a Dominican Puro, and the actual wrapper is being picked from the middle section of the tobacco plant, and it uses an estate grown binder and filler from the world-renowned Chateau de la Fuente. The name of this cigar is also quite special. It comes from a saying which comes from people that age red wine. Now, when you age red wine in a barrel for a very long period of time, a certain amount of wine tends to evaporate, and the people that age wine have this saying that, you know, it's angel's share, meaning angels come down to earth and they taste and they try and bless the wine. So that amount of wine that you lose due to the aging process they call angel's share. Fuente have lost a tremendous amount of, decades of aged tobacco in 2012 due to a fire in one of their factories, and they had a great idea of naming this line of cigars Angel's Share, kind of giving a tribute to that type of saying with winemaking, meaning, the tobacco that they've lost. And it was a very special tobacco as well, don't get me wrong. It was a tobacco that they saved because they wanted to do a very special line for their 100th anniversary, but unfortunately they lost quite a big amount of that tobacco. So they are basically calling this line Angel's Share, as if, they've lost that tobacco to the angels. Now, needless to say, Arturo Fuente is one of the most sought after cigars, especially in the US, which is one of the biggest cigar markets in the world. This is their Cohiba, and if this is their Cohiba, then the Opus X selection is your Bejiques. They're quite lucky because obviously they've got quite a wide range of Opus X's, and like we do with the Bejiques, but then we've got other brands like Linea Maestra in Partagas, Linea 1935 in Monte Cristo, and Linea de Oro in Romeo and Juliet, and so on. Needless to say, one of the most sought after brands in the world. In the US, it's an absolute cult to have the ability to smoke an Opus X. It's their premium line, it's the top of the range, and it's extremely difficult to find. And I wanted to read you a little bit more from their website. They've got some interesting things to say. So Arturo Fuente Opus X Angel Share is a full flavor Dominican Puro sporting a wrapper from the middle priming, as I mentioned, from the middle of the tobacco plant, instead of the top priming from which Fuente Opus X is typically made. Extremely limited production for this cigar. Undoubtedly the most coveted premium cigar in the world. That's a very bold statement. I have to say that's a very bold statement, but I will be the judge of that in just about a minute. Strength profile is full, which means I'm expecting quite a kick. Master blend the tasting notes with a lush, subtle draw. This cigar leaves tea-like impressions on the palate and becomes more intense with orange peel, ginger snap and earth. That's interesting. As I mentioned, this is the biggest Vitola. They've got 4 Vitolas in the Angels Share lineup. They've got the Robusto, Fuente, Perfección X and Reserva de Chateau, which is the one I have in my hand. And I wanted to revive something that I used to do a lot in the past and I haven't done in a while. Now, I saw this from a good friend of mine, Grave Dodger. He's got an amazing content on TikTok, on Instagram and YouTube. Please go and give him a follow. I'll drop a link in the description. This basically is an LSA decanter, and he calls it an Infinity Dram, and I call it an Infinity Dram based on him. I learned this from him. Now, what that basically is every now and again, and this is what he is doing, every now and again, when the drum is at the end and there is about 50 ml or 100 ml, instead of having a single glass, drop it here. Only single malt scotch goes inside, nothing else, and it basically becomes your own personal blend. And the nice thing about it is every time you drink it, it changes, because you drink some, you put something else inside and the blend changes completely. Now, I did a few of these bottles and tried them and they were amazing. And then I decided to do something a bit different. So what I then started doing was I got an empty decanter and I got 5 or 6 scotches, a smoky one, a fruity one, a floral one, and so on, a sweet one, and then I'll start mixing them until I find a blend that I actually like. So if, for example, it becomes a bit too fruity, I'll put a bit of smoke, and if it's a bit too much of smoke, I'll put a bit of floral notes, and I was just playing with it. Unfortunately, I haven't done that thing that I used to do with the mixing of specific tastes. This one I've started from scratch. Here I've got 6 drums, 6 drums, different ones, and this is what I'm gonna sample Angel Share with, because I was thinking I've got Abrelura 14, I've got Lagavulin 16, I've got Glen 15, Glen 18. I've got quite a few drums that I can taste it with. But I thought, this is going to be a lot more intriguing, a lot more kind of mysterious. So I'll be giving this a go. So let's get down to lighting and cutting and then smoking. Now that we're done with the cutting and lighting, we're on to the enjoyment part. I've only had a few puffs, but I, I think I know why it's so popular. I think I know why it's so difficult to find. And I think I know why everyone's raving for it now. Completely forgotten these tastes. Jesus Christ. As you can probably tell from my demeanor and expression, really good cigar. Amazing cigar. Strong, but amazing. The draw, the ash, the retrohale, subtle, elegant, smooth. I was expecting a kick in the teeth from memory. Super strong, super in your face. Maybe it's the few years that it sat in my humidor, but wow. Very, very interesting. Super complex flavors. I can't really describe them. Very earthy, very woody, very cedary. And I can't really taste sweetness yet, but I'm sure that it's going to open up later on, or at least I hope it's going to open up later on. There is promise of orange peel and ginger, which means it's going to be spicy. Well, at least that's what the master blenders are saying. But wow, let's put some of this magic in the glass and give it a taste and see how the cigar will pair with it. Oh wow. Oh wow. This is sublime. It has a bit of Bunnaban, a bit of Glen 15, a bit of Aberlour 12, Aberlour 14, a bit of Glen, one of those experiment ones, the floral one, sugar and cane experimental one from Glenfiddich again. Spectacular. Quite a kick as well, which is going to pair nicely with the cigar. Can't tell you, this cigar is just spectacular. I really enjoy it. I was expecting a lot more strength to it, but it's actually quite mellow. I think aging it in the humidor for like 3-4 years is definitely giving it a bit of sorry, and also just even though I've only just started it, a bit of sweetness is not coming out. Weird. The retrohale now starts to be a bit more harsh, but it's it's a full body New World, so that's like a lot stronger than the full body Cuban, but it's still nice, still very enjoyable retrohale. Knowing the history of this cigar and the amount of tobacco that Fuente have lost, I think they've picked the right blend. I think their master blenders have done this cigar justice. They've done the burnt tobacco justice with this cigar, is what I was trying to say. This cigar is absolutely spectacular. I'll be trying to buy more if I can find them, which it's going to be difficult. Wow, Retro Hell is amazing. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm gonna give it a little smoke, and I'll come back to you later on to give you a bit more information on how the cigar is going. I've been enjoying this up until now. Well, I still am, but I've been enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's a nice cigar. It's a bit on the strong side, at least for me. I've been talking to a friend of mine in my cigar group, in my Telegram group, and he was basically saying this particular line of Opus X's is the lightest one. Yeah, it's a bit strong for me, but it's okay. The spiciness is now coming out, and it's really gingery. The sweetness kind of dissipated in the background, but it's a bit spicy now. Still woody, still earthy. There is a bit of a spice on the back of the throat, which is quite interesting. Retro Hell is now, yeah, quite harsh. As it develops throughout the cigar, it becomes a bit, yeah, stronger. Need to wash it down. Nevertheless, I think it's a very good cigar. The blend is quite complex. I do enjoy it. I might venture into trying to find more of this and more of the other opuses, and try some of the other opuses. Hope they're not too strong for me, but we'll find out. For a Monday evening, not a bad smoke at all, if I may say so myself. Definitely check out my Telegram group if you're interested. Something else, I've got an in-person event coming up on the 29th of November. The event is going to be in the Four Seasons Hotel at 10 Trinity Square in a private gentleman cigar club. And I'm partnering with Number 11 Cigars. It's a Costa Rican puro with a Caribbean rum. And I think it's going to be spectacular. It's very exclusive. Only 10 attendees will come. The moment I announced the invites, it's going to be first come, first serve basis. 10 people only, 29th of November. I think it's going to be spectacular. The venue is amazing. Number 11 cigars are amazing. Actually, probably the next cigar, or the one after, I'm going to try is their Maduro Robusto. I met with Tony Nunn, who's one of the founding members of Number 11 Cigars recently. Well, last week I met with him, and he was kind enough to send me a Robusto Maduro, which has a year of age already. And I also have like a small tester bottle of their rum, which I'm going to pair with the Robusto whilst I'm reviewing it. For those of you who don't know, I've already reviewed their Torpedo, their Pyramid. Sorry, not Torpedo, Vitola. I was, I think, one of the first, if not the first in the UK to review Number 11 cigars. I reviewed them in December last year. They only launched in April this year. And the cigar was really good, like really good. I'll definitely recommend you guys trying them. I'm not sponsored in any way, shape or form. I'm telling you, it's a good cigar, well worth the try. So yeah, keep an eye on my website. I've got also a virtual event coming up, a virtual HERF on the 8th of November. So if you fancy, go to my website, kdld.co.uk. On the bottom, scroll down on the homepage and you'll see the event. All you need to do is a 2-second registration and RSVP on the event. Only RSVP guests will be allowed in the event. It's free of charge. The one on the 8th of November is free of charge. It happens every second Friday of the month. And anyone can join. You don't need anything special. Feel free to join. I'll have quite a few people from my Telegram group on the event. It will be great to say hello and to get to meet us, and of course we to meet you. The event on the 29th will be a paid event. It will Actually, I'll make a special video for it. I'm not gonna spill all the beans here. I'll make a separate video and I'll give you all the details about it. It's gonna be very soon. It's probably gonna be this week as well, where I'm gonna explain what the event's gonna look like. Keep an eye on my Instagram if you're not on Telegram, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Please don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and all that social media good stuff. It helps me get more exposure. It helps me reach out to more people and try and educate more people. My goal is to educate people as much as I can, or at least if I don't educate them, at least to share my experience and my diaries. Call them diaries, but it's really my journey throughout the cigar world, and I really enjoy sharing that. So, you know, the more exposure, the better. The more people hear about it. Quite sweet. It reminds me of La Gloria Cubana, actually. One of my friends from the Telegram group, Stoyan, spot on, really reminds me of a La Gloria Cubana. It's like a stronger La Gloria Cubana. And La Gloria Cubana, for those of you who follow me, will know I'm fanatical about them. Definitely not a Cuban taste, but very similar notes. Enough to remind you of a specific blend, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll finish this cigar in peace. I'll finish my scotch. And that will be all for tonight, ladies and gents. I'm KD, and these were my Leaf Diaries. Enjoy the rest of your week. Catch you soon.